In 2024, I moved from London to Berlin. Why? Well, I just had enough of the big smoke and the UK, to be honest, so I jumped ship. But what never ceases to amaze me about this city is the fact that I could well be the only Lincoln lad in Berlin. Saying that, I do remember that I met some bloke called Vic. He's from Lincoln. Anyway, I'll be one of two Lincoln lads in Berlin. So I want to describe to people what Lincoln's like and how it compares to the city of Berlin. So welcome to the first episode of
Just a Lad from Lincoln in Berlin.
Now the thing is, it's quite hard to describe to somebody from Europe or living in Berlin what Lincoln is like.
This is the roundabout where I failed my first driving test.
I guess to a British person you could say in-betweeners said it was a shithole.
This was serious. I'd been to Lincoln and it's a shithole.
Most people here, they might know where Nottingham is, but certainly not Lincoln.
Bloody traffic.
So now that I've established that nobody knows where Lincoln is, let me give people a insight.
Lincoln, a city steeped in history, Gothic architecture and tapas restaurants.
Yet another tapas bar, that's one thing there isn't a lack of in Lincoln.
A city of peaceful pleasantries, idyllic streets and classic British culture. But it's a city on the up.
Digital bus signs. That's new for Lincoln.
I've never seen one of them in Lincoln, to be honest. We're on the way up.
That's the first time I've seen a Tango Ice Blast dispenser in a co-op. I'll have to say Lincoln's on its way up.
Not only that, Lincoln City's football team have just won League One and are in the Championship for the first time in ages. Allow me to give you an insight into daily life in Lincoln.
So I'm stood in front of Lincoln Cathedral. It was built in 1206, I think, and typical Gothic architecture of the time.
See, the thing is about Lincoln, if you are a tourist, you can do it in about a day, especially from London. Just get the train up, get the early train, and then get the train back down in the evening. Because, I mean, the two main things are literally next to each other, the castle and the cathedral. So you don't even need that long to do it, and you could grab some lunch or something.
That's the bell. It's called Big Tom. It's just a bit of a knockoff of Big Ben, I guess, but that's what we call it.
And then you've got the castle, which is, you know, is what it is really. It's just a set of brick walls, stone walls around an open field with a fort in the middle.
Castle. I used to visit this corner shop every day after school. I would get a 10p refresher and like a Freddo or something, or a packet of Space Raiders. It's my old school. That right there is a Victorian water tower, obviously used to store water in Lincoln Castle. Kind of regret not having any shades.
There is a court there, but there's plenty of room there to run around, I guess. I used to do Diabolo, you know, like, with a thingy on. So yeah, I mean, you could check that out if you go there, certainly. But, you know, this is like the sort of slow-natured pace of Lincoln.
I actually used to do busking on here and all. And all is a traditional Lincoln coin of term. Just a emphasis on how I once did indeed busk on the streets of Lincoln. I made like 70 quid or something, pretty good day. On a steep hill now, and well, I think it's the fourth steepest hill in the UK. This is the tea shop where I used to get my brother's Christmas present every year to get some green tea. I actually would busk on this part as well. Steep Hill is one of the oldest working commercial streets in the world actually. It's been used for over 2,000 years. Built by the Romans, which of course most of Lincoln and the city originally itself was. You might have seen Steep Hill and thought artisan, picturesque shops, cafes, restaurants, unlovely. And now we come to the high street, the declining high street, in some ways prosperous in others. But I'm here in the high street because I'm here to show you one of the main things that I do when I'm in Lincoln, that I can't in Berlin.
Just a lad from Lincoln in Berlin.
Now I would say we're in the sort of commercial district of Lincoln. Standard British city slash town. Not really much to look at, to be honest.
You can probably see it through this footage and videos. A very fast city, everything's chill, relaxed.
Now if you spend more than like 4 or 5 days in Lincoln, the Cuban Triangle is where you come to spend some time. Well, myself, this is what I do. Because when you do some things in Lincoln, you run out of stuff to do. And this is pretty much what I do every time I come. And you can't play snooker in Berlin, really. Not to this standard of table. So, you know, it's good to just hit some balls. So let's go and do it. Snooker wasn't available, so we're playing darts. But then again, you can't actually get proper darts in Berlin. So it makes it worthwhile coming.
With every dart I threw, I felt something. Something I was missing in Berlin. Family. Friends, real bacon, Tango Ice Blast machines, Lincoln City Football Club. So why did I ever leave?
This is where it started for me. This is the Lincoln Engine Shed. It's a music venue, and it's one of the venues in Lincoln where I first started playing when I was around 18 years old. Classic train coming when I'm trying to speak. It's one of the places that gave birth to me as an artist, and you know, back in those days it was more tech house stuff, and now I'm doing more garagey, but times change, genres change, you know, and you know, this is where I started playing the saxophone at the age of like 18. I played with some pretty cool artists like Ewan McVicker, Rich Next. I played with Dale Howard, a few cool DJs. The UK, like in Lincoln, the venues are fairly scarce. Bongos, bingo. Russell Howard, that would be good. I mean, they used to have sort of bigger acts play there. It's a shame to see it go to waste, and that's sort of typical of the music industry these days. Big venues aren't really getting much action from artists, especially in Lincoln. And you know, we used to have raves with like 2,000 people here, and it's a bit of a shame to see it sort of go downhill actually.
I stood there pondering, reflecting on the days gone, memories of playing in this venue with my pals, and moments of my youth in this small, forgotten about place.
It's a famous crackhead spot, really lovely.
What does the future hold for Lincoln's music scene? The city is on the up, which poses such questions like, will we ever see Beyonce headline the LNER football stadium? And will we see the Bishop of Lincoln given Archbishop status? I guess we will find out.
Most artists who are from Lincoln that I know, they live in London or somewhere else where there's more stuff going on. That is pretty much the thing with Lincoln. You know, you can have a good life there. You can have a fulfilled life there. But at the end of the day, if you want to try and break out into doing something on a more of a substantial scale, Lincoln is quite a difficult place to do it. I wouldn't say impossible. Hopefully you can see what life is like in Lincoln. I will catch you on the next episode where I will be discussing life here in Berlin. But thanks for watching the first episode of
Just a lad from Lincoln in Berlin.